Hello everyone and welcome to our lesson on using the Activity Builder. So to begin with, we're going to look on the left hand side over here and look for this blue puzzle piece. Click on that there and it's going to say Activity Builder. And let's give that a click as well. On the bottom we want to ensure that our auto hide is turned off, so uncheck that box. That's just going to keep this menu here on the side at all times. Now right now it tells us we have no activities on the page. We are going to change that. Let's click onto one of our hexagons and we are going to edit it. Now underneath this metals hexagon I have various properties of metals that are listed, and so we can have items that are accepted or rejected. So these properties of metals will be accepted, and these properties here, which are properties of non-metals, will be rejected. So I can take my word ductile, and that's a correct answer, so I'm going to click it to drag objects here to accept them and let it go. And see it put it in that box, put a little checkbox beside it here. Now we can also select multiple answers at the same time and drag all of those into the box at once to save on time. Now to put my incorrect answers, I'm going to click on this button that says Add All Remaining, and all those little X's appeared over there, except we see that we have this hexagon in here as well. We don't want that, so we can click on it, drag it over our trash can and let it go, and it's going to take it out of our answers. Now we just have all of our words that we want that are being rejected. Click on our settings button and we have some options. So when objects are accepted, the two best options I've found are to use none or spin. These ones allow us to still see our answers once we have put them in there, so we can still see the correct answers left in that hexagon. So for this one here, I'm going to choose none. And when an object is rejected, it is going to bounce back. We can also add a sound, so I'm going to also play the object sound on here, and we're going to put that setting on right now, so we'll click done here. We are going to add a sound to that word now, so let's click on ductile. And we see this little arrow here in the corner in the gray box. We're going to click on that and come down to the word sound. Now in sound we can choose two options. Either we can record a sound down here, or we can choose a sound from our file. I'm going to choose a sound from file. And I'm going to choose complete here. And then we can preview our sound. So that's the sound that will play when this word is accepted into metals. So let's click attach sound onto there. And for a test, let's click that word ductile and drag it into our metals. Perfect, our word is staying in place and playing the sound as we wanted. Now let's put it back where we had it before here. And if we wanted to remove our sound, we could click on the word once again, click on our arrow, go to sound, and remove sound. Now we need to still make our other object here, so I'm going to click on the non-metals hexagon and click on edit. And then once again I'm going to drag my answers in, so these ones here will now be accepted. Give it a minute there. Then we're going to click onto our properties of metals. We're going to drag those in so that they are rejected. This time here I'll go to our settings and I'm going to have my answers spin when they're correct and once again bounce back when they're incorrect. And let's hit done. I'm going to put my auto hide on and just go back to my screen here. Now if I were to do this activity with my class, what I would do is I would take all of these words and I would jumble them all around the screen. But for simplicity's sake, while we do our demonstration, I'm going to leave them where they are. So let's take an answer that's a property of metal. I'm going to click and drag it into metals. So I'm going to put it right here and it should stay exactly where I put it. Since it's a correct answer, it's going to stay there. Now if I were to take a property of a metal and put it into my non-metals, my answer should bounce back. And there, it did bounce back. Now for my properties of non-metals, if I take one over to the metals, it's incorrect. Once again, it should bounce back. But if it's correct, once I put it into non-metals, it's going to spin around for us and then stay in place once it's done spinning. One last thing that might happen is you might decide you do not want your object to be an object anymore. You don't want it to be part of the activity. So we click back onto our activity builder. Turn off my auto hide again here for a moment. I'm going to click on my metals. I no longer want it to be an activity. I'm going to click clear properties. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it so it's just a plain hexagon now, and it is no longer part of the activity. If I take one of my non-metals and drag it onto there, it can sit on there all at once because it is no longer part of the activity. It's just a hexagon sitting on our page. And that is all that we need to do to build an activity. Thanks very much for listening. Hope you can use this in your classes now.